Hey, my name is Cade Hall, and my major is in general studies. This is a problem I think a lot of us probably have, and out of the options that we were given, it was the one that spoke the most to me. And as you can see in the image right here, you gotta think positive, very important. So, motivation affects all of us on the global and even national level, and the dropout rate is only getting higher and higher as time goes on, because especially with the average number of people that are in college, they're younger, and the younger generation has a lot of problems with depression, with everything that's going on in the world right now, obviously. And that has to change. And from the resources I had, there were other problems in areas other than college students, because it would follow them into whenever they were employed and the rate that they'd actually stay with them. So these problems with motivation might just be because of the people themselves, or it might be because of each particular college, as we're going to see later on whenever I show you those statistics. And motivation is obviously key, because there are a lot of smart kids that end up burning out over time, and that kind of flatlines when it gets to college and things get really difficult. So being able to retain those students is probably the most important thing. So as you see here, according to the United States Department of Education, the retention rates were 79% for the years 2011 through 12. And I had a lot of numbers when I went through that, but that was just the one I wanted to reference to show that we have the rates for the years, and also to compare how the rates go down as times go on. And even in today, I wasn't able to find the retention rates from 2021 and such, but the resources that I have show a steady decline in retention rates and motivation, and that also applies as we move on to the graduation rates. So as the retention rates go down, obviously the graduation rates also go down with it. And you could probably tell why that is. If you're not retaining the information that you're given, then it's going to be a lot harder for you to graduate, which is a big problem for these colleges because it doesn't make them look very good either. And I didn't want to flood the page with images, but as I saw on the global and national level, that the United States has the biggest problem when it comes to the rates of motivation, which also really sucks. And on a national level, there were a lot of differences from each state. Obviously, you can see which state has more people retaining and not motivating themselves and graduating. So you have a place like Texas, which obviously I care the most about. We're all Texans. And that rate was 55%, which was different from another state like Oklahoma's, which was 47%. So I liked reading through the different resources I had and comparing each state and trying to figure out why they lack motivation, but it's definitely a problem because with everything that's been going on in the world, you don't want the motivation rates to lower, because then the graduation rates will go down with it. And this is the most important thing, which is actually fixing the issue of motivation in the world. And my answer is kind of just simple. I think we should ask all the college students and run surveys about what the professors can do to change and how colleges can change to keep them interested in the material. And that's definitely mostly on the professor, because they want their students to retain their information. They have to be more engaging but it's difficult. They have a lot of priorities in their lives, but I think ultimately, if we can tackle this problem and care more about our material and try to get our students, especially the struggling ones, that their grades are lowering, and reach out and message them and try to help them the most they can, that we can change the course of the future and the declining, flatlining rates of motivation and graduation, and hopefully have a better future. And these were my references. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have a good day.